In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. My name is Christopher Muhammad, and in my life I've come across the knowledge of the truth. And I don't just mean the truth in the regard of what I think's the truth or what's my opinion or what's my view. I mean in the regard of the true facts of this earth, life, world, universe that have been hidden from us by the people in power and their people that are below them who are doing the work of them and maintaining a world of lies, deceit, and mysteries, theories, and keeping the masses of the people of the earth away from the real true knowledge of how things are in this world and life for all of us. I mean, if you look at one thing, the elite rulers, if in your mind is a possibility of realizing and finding out and understanding that this world is ran by a handful of elite, very wealthy, powerful men and women of a very tiny population of all of us that control, have the money, have the power over everything. And the rest of us that exist have no money to speak of or power and understanding of the reality that we're in. Maybe you should ponder the possibility that those people in power that we don't appear to be able to touch have how and what is it that gives them power over us and everything around them. And yet we now on the internet, the wonderful mercy and the dumbest mistake they ever made, which was to give us and allow us the internet, which has become like a disease to them because they've been unable to actually block it. But clever and evil as they are, they've managed another way of blocking it by messing up most of our heads so that we are unable to think of what to look for, of how to find the truth, what might be relevant, and make it useful to us against them and their tyranny and control of the masses of the people. Peace be unto you. You might wonder why I say that, but if you didn't know, we're in a very violent, evil way of life on the earth at the moment. And I want you to know that my intentions are the opposite of that way of life we're in before I even get talking. I've been, what I would never have said in the past, fortunate enough to have grown up and really have been born outside the comfort zone that we're most of the people who are born in the comfort zone of a normal family and a way of life that doesn't hurt or feel difficult to be in. Most of us just accept that way of life and go along with it until things, if they ever do, become uncomfortable, painful or difficult, that might make us question and try and find out what is really going on and find out if there are contradictions, if there are things that make us see that the picture that we're a part of in life isn't altogether what people may be telling us. Well, I grew up outside the comfort zone, and because of that, I now, all these years later, in the pain of it, would never have said I'm glad or happy I grew outside the comfort zone. But when I speak to people, and when I've spoken to people over the years who are in the comfort zone and are part of the system and don't really seem to realize that there is something seriously wrong with this system that we're in, how can I put it? I'm grateful in hindsight that I didn't grow up accepting, I didn't grow up feeling so comfortable that I don't question what I now have found out to be a system of lies, deceit, fakery, myth, and total ignorance to the reality and clear, logical, actual facts of the way of life and universe that we're in. Most people, at least 85% of the people of this earth, don't know simple little things, don't have an answer or an understanding. And I don't mean an answer as any old answer. I mean they don't have the actual facts and the truth on things. Very basic things in life. Here's a few. Most human beings, and I'll say adult so that you can think by then they should have learnt these things. Most human beings on the earth don't know what life really is. Don't know how we got here, apart from the simple basics of mating. They don't know why man is here on earth. They don't know what time is. They don't know what death really is. They don't know what food in general is and what is not food that we eat as well. They don't know how their body works. They don't understand what different races there are on the earth and why and how. They don't know what the truth is regarding God, the devil, religion. They don't know if really they really even exist. They don't know about the 9 planets in our universe, whether there is life on them. They don't know why we are the size we are. There are so many things. These are some of the very basic things of life that most people who grow up, even if it's a poor life, in a kind of comfort zone where they're not forced to question everything around them outside what we're generally all taught by what I call the system. So, because I wasn't born in the comfort zone and didn't grow up in the comfort zone, I went on a quest to really find out. Unlike most people who are a particular race, as you may have been taught, like say, white, black, I myself am what people would call mixed race. Even though that most people in the world have no understanding of what mixed race really is, I do have a full understanding of what mixed race is. Most mixed race people don't have an understanding, and I'm calling it that just so you know what I'm talking about. I don't agree with the name. Most mixed race people don't understand what mixed race is. Most of their parents don't understand what it is. And most black people don't know or understand and cannot relate to what mixed race is. Most white people don't understand, cannot relate, or get a real perception of what mixed race is. But I really, truly do and can prove what mixed race actually is. The elite rulers, they know, understand, and fully are aware of what mixed race is and don't want you to know. We are in a time now that mixed race is one of the most important things that the Supreme Being wants to bring to our attention, because the one the Supreme Being has made himself appear in the person of is what you would call mixed race, and for a very, very important reason. But more of that at another time. I am so happy that in finding out what I am, and in finding out the true history of the world, not a theory of it or someone else's idea or something I like to cling on to, but actual true facts of the true history of the world, and the answer to some of those very basic things that most 85% of the world's population don't understand, like what I was saying about why we're born, what life really is, what death really is, why we exist, God, the devil, all these things. I really truly have the answer to these questions or basic things we should know. And I'm not clever by any means as to the reason why I know these things. It's just that I was born outside the comfort zone and felt a terrible pain of not understanding actual reality. And when questioning teachers, religious people, people of in the community of a so-called high standing, either got very alarmed when I asked about these questions, or tried to stop me, or basically didn't have the answers. And so I went on a quest to find out categorically the answers to these things about life and things about reality and things called actual facts. An actual fact is something that cannot be stopped, denied, broken, changed, depending on your view, your feelings, your scientific approach and application. It just stands unchangeable as an actual reality of things that absolutely are. And I love that, because I grew up in injustice with quite, maybe not compared to other people, but quite bad treatment, and a longing and a quest and a desire to have things that are unable to be changed in the actual fact of their reality. That's what I wanted, and that is now, thank God, what I've got. 10% rulers of the elite of the world's population have access to actual facts and know the importance of actual facts, but keep us in the dark, the 85% or the 80%, so that we cannot manipulate, control, and forge a way in life without total dependence on them. They have top scientists, the ones we know about, who delve into subjects, delve into the world and the biology and the physics and the chemistry and all the various facets of the wonderful world that we live in. And they dig, they inquire, they probe, and many of them don't have the knowledge that the elite have about this world and how it operates. But these scientists, with a similar mind to myself, because they understand that by really digging and applying mathematics, logic, taking out their emotion, taking out their life experience, so that what they find won't be tainted or twisted or changed by anything other than actual reality, in order that they find the real truth in their subject of how the things they're looking into operate. Well, me and many other people have done this. The elite have watched those scientists, and they're in an order of fame in the history books to the way the elite want us to see the world of science and development and the world of how things work, in the way the elite want us to see those things. So there's scientists, there's inventors, there's creative people who have contributed an incredible amount to the way things operate technologically, and the way we have science and medicine and everything in the world today. There's people who are pioneers of much of that work that we have in the history books, but there's also people who they don't and haven't put in the history books, who have done an amazing contribution for us in understanding the world and things around us that the elite don't want us to know about, and the elite don't want us to have that knowledge of, because it may make their plan a little difficult and also give us too much power of how to operate ourselves in this world and life. And I have found out, and many other people have found out, some of these scientists are, and inventors, and we are at a big advantage to all of you folks out there, because we understand that there's the science that the elite give us is a fraction of the real technology and science and understanding of science that's really out there. So I will go further into this in my next video. I am so sad that the way we see the world in general, the masses of the people I'm talking of, the way we see technology, we think, oh, we've got an iPhone, we've got a flat screen TV, we've got these various gadgets in our houses and in our lives, and we think, wow, they're the bee's knees, it's so amazing. look at what we have compared to people 100 years ago. Well, there's people thousands of years ago who had technology that makes an Apple iPhone 6 look like a club in the hand of a caveman compared to what they used to have and use. I am going in to try and explain and try and open our eyes into the fact that we're in a world where we're generally taught absolute lies and don't understand the reality that we're really in. And I have discovered and know and can explain some of the actual facts of the real reality that the elite rulers are hiding from us, and that they, by hiding the reality of this world and existence, they are able to forge a way for themselves and not allow us to forge a way for ourselves because of our ignorance and misunderstanding of the operations of life, the world, and pathing a way for ourselves in this life and world, because we have a false understanding of how things are, and they have a clear, pure, perfect understanding of how things are in life and the world. And by that, it's like, say you have a new gadget in your house and you have the instruction manual to it, and another man has exactly the same gadget in his house but no instruction manual. The one who will be successful at operating that gadget quickest would be, if at all, would be the one with the instruction manual. Well, the elite are the ones with the instruction manual of how this whole world and universe works up to a level, and how to forge your way through it in your life and existence. And what they've done is they've hidden the instruction manual from the rest of us. And because of that, we go through life very unable and very confused as to how it all works, because we've been given, not only have they kept the instruction manual, but they've actually given us a manual with a different description as to how all this goes on and works, which is a real terrible crime, because the man who has got the gadget in his house and hasn't got the instruction manual is very clear that, okay, I should have an instruction manual. There is one in existence, but I don't have it, and it's going to be a bit of a trouble of how to use this gadget I've got, because I'm not given a guidance as to how it works and what its purpose is fully. Well, that's like us. But instead of just not having the manual and trying to work it out, we've been given one that's been told to us as being the true manual, but is not. And is given to us not by the maker of this world and universe, like they have, but a manual that is made by them, who want to not only not give us the power to understand and control the world and the universe around us and forge a way for ourselves clearly the way they do, but they have an agenda of giving us a manual that makes us subservient and fit in to the world in a way where they can use us, milk us, bleed us, kill us, manipulate us, so that they can get not only control of the world all around them with the manual they have, but control of us and everything we do and the way we see and operate with the manual they've given us that's false, twisted, and in their interests, in their evil interests, which doesn't do them any real good in the long term. And this is the world we are living in, and I know it for sure, and I'd love you to know it too. If you like these videos and are interested in them, please subscribe to my channel and I will put more. I would like to go further into this. The rulers and elite that I'm talking about who would love to stop this are unable, because I am being protected. So if you want to know more of this, then please subscribe to my channel and get the real instruction manual that I'm talking about.